Hello and welcome to the Wealth Wednesday show. We want to wish you a happy new year and we believe the year has started on well and we are here to help you start the year with with the highest momentum possible. And with that reason, we have a very amazing guest with us. His name is Bobby Clark, all the way from United States of America. We are going to discuss on how you can win with money in 2022. There is a saying that says if you don't plan, then you're planning to fail. And planning to win is part of winning, and that's why we are having this conversation today. Now, if you're watching us from Facebook, we request you to share this live video with as many friends as possible, as well as drop us a hi in the comment section and let us know where you're watching us from. To those that are watching us on our YouTube channel, we encourage you to subscribe as well as click the like button to allow our video get to a higher reach, as well as share the link with your friends, family, and your social media platforms. Now, without taking much time, allow me to give Bobby the platform to introduce himself. Bobby, welcome. May you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you, Sheila. It's great to see you again. Great to be with you as always. We've had great conversations in the past, and I really do enjoy being having conversation with you and just talking about personal finance and financial wellness. It's an opportunity to just to help people out, share what we know, share our resources, and people can be better for that. So once again, thank you for so much for having me, and I'm also very proud of the fact that the work that you are doing in terms of educating financial literacy, financial wellness. You're doing a very, very excellent job. You're known around the world. Believe it or not, you're not, and that's awesome. That's really awesome. It speaks volumes to the work that you are doing. People here in the U.S., they know who you are. A lot of my financial friends, know who you are, and they talk highly of you and the work that you've done. So, I'm Bobby Clark. I'm here in the U.S. in the state of Georgia, and I'm a financial coach. And I've been coaching for about almost 10 years now. I started out as a part timer, but I went full time because I just loved it so much, and it was a passion of mine. And that passion goes back to my childhood. When I was in grade school, my mother was a teacher, second grade teacher. My father owned a small business, and so every night he would come home, and we would count the receipts from that business, and my mother was there to ensure that things went well. And from that, we just talked about personal finance on my level, about paying the bills on time, saving money, spending less than you make, and that, well, little did I know, that was the foundation for the passion that I have today in sharing my knowledge of personal finance.
Amazing, amazing. And you are one of the 1% who had the opportunity to have money discussions while growing up, as that has been a challenge to most people. They tend to say they never had any money discussion while they were growing up, or they didn't have the opportunity of someone who was older, either a parent or guardian, talking about money in their presence. And in some cultures, talking about money was considered sacred, so it wasn't a wide outspoken topic. Now, Bobby, we just started the year and everyone is saying new year, new me. Now, maybe you could take us through how can we win with money in this new year, bearing in mind there has been a lot happening in the last 2 years with the pandemic.
Well, that's a great question because, in comes the new year, in comes a lot of excitement. A lot of times we start the new year off, we have a lot of goals, a lot of aspirations. We have great visions, and as what I have seen is as the year goes on, those goals or aspirations tend to fizzle away, or you lose track, or you lose sight of those goals. A good example of here in the U.S. In the beginning of the year, everybody's going to the gym to get fit, and the gyms are just packed, and people are just working out. But by the month of March, all of those folks, there's not so many in the gymnasium. They have gone away, or they have changed their habits, or gone back to old habits that they had before. So, in order to win with money in any year or any month, you have to be consistent. That's one of the biggest things that you have to do, and you have to have an accountability partner, or have accountability, and you have to have guidance. Those are the things that we can work on, and you can work on in yourself, to ensure that you do stay focused on what you have on your plans for that year, or for that goal. Having a goal, identifying that goal, and writing it down, what you're trying to achieve, why you want to do it, how you're going to go about doing it. Be specific about it. So those are some of the things that anyone can do, with or without a coach, that can help you achieve your goals, and stay focused and stay on track, so that when you look back, you realize a lot of times you'd be surprised at how well you have done in terms of achieving your goals, and doing those things that you really set up to do in the beginning of the year. Now, the year, it's a long year most times, and a lot of things can happen. But if you have your goals written out, you stay focused, and you are accountable to yourself, you can achieve these goals.
True, and I like the fact that you've said you have to set a goal on your own, and be able to know why you are doing it. And this leads me to the next thought that I'm just having. How can one set achievable goals? Because at the beginning of what you just said is that people go to the gym at the start of the year, but by March, they are not doing that. The thing they committed themselves to. And this applies when it comes to finances as well. So, how can one set achievable financial goals for the year? Or what goals should we focus on that are achievable? Because sometimes I tend to think we set goals that are beyond our achieving capacity. Yeah.
Yes, we do. And there's a process out there, Sheila, that I use, and people, it's not a secret or anything amazing. It's called SMART, acronym SMART,
Mhm,
SMART. And each
mhm,
letter stands for a specific step in writing your goal. The first
mhm,
is S, it stands for specific. So be specific about what you want to achieve. Uh,
mhm,
then the next thing is the M. You try to uh, manage that goal. Is the next thing you want to do. The next one is achievable. And then you have the reasonable, or something that's reasonable, something
mhm,
that is reasonable that you can do. You know yourself better than anyone else. And what
mhm,
happens is, if you set goals that are not reasonable for you, if you don't like reading, then don't set a
mhm,
goal for to read 4 or 5 books a year, because you're probably not going to make that. Or, so you have to have something that's reasonable for you. If you struggle with savings, then you may
mhm,
not want to have a high savings goal, because that's
mhm,
not reasonable for you. And the next thing is the time factor. Set a specific time, that how you're going to
mhm,
get there, how long it's going to
mhm,
take you to get there. And when you put that acronym together, you will have
mhm,
a platform for achieving the goals that you can uh, achieve, and aspire to get there. And and even with the goals written down like that, just to be clear, for your
mhm,
listeners, sometimes things come up that's unplanned, planned or you didn't expect, and it may get in there and upset your goals. Well, that's okay, because it may or may not have been your fault. So you don't feel horribly if you don't achieve your goals. There's something out of your control comes in
Mm-hmm.
there and upsets that. But
Mm-hmm.
normally, if you use that acronym SMART, you can achieve that goal
Mm-hmm.
for you, for yourself, based on your personality and your behavior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I'm just thinking, what do you think people should do differently this year when it comes to financial goals? Because a lot of people are used to, following a certain rule, or maybe, for example, say, say in saving, maybe people are so used to just saving money in a jar or in a small can at home. So what do you think people should embrace doing differently when it comes to their finances?
Well, one of the things that you can do can start. The starting point is to evaluate last year. Go back and look at 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how well you did. Look at the things that you achieved that was positive. Look at those things that didn't work for you. You might have spent a lot of time doing something that didn't work for you, and
Mm-hmm.
you do an evaluation of that. And when you do that, you focus on those things that were positive from the previous year, and you repeat those things. So when you come into the new year 2022, you're coming in with a lot more positive energy, a lot more
Mm-hmm.
momentum,
Mm-hmm.
uh, from the previous year, and you're in a good position to carry on that momentum and to propel you into a successful 2022. So go back and look at what worked for you in 2021. And that's what I do. I just go, at the end of the year, I do an assessment.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Mm-hmm.
sit down in December and just look at
Mm-hmm.
what worked, what didn't work, what I
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed, what I didn't enjoy, and those things
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't enjoy or didn't work. Certainly, you don't want to repeat those things in the coming year. So you don't do those things, but the things that worked, I just carry them over and start the new year with those positive things, those things that I enjoy doing, those things that were fun for me, and those things that were beneficial in terms of personal finance, in terms of overall life happiness. And you start the year off with a bang and a lot of momentum.
Yeah. Absolutely, starting the year off with a bang. That is the goal for most of us. Now, I want us to speak about investments because I believe for the last 2 years we have learned so much about investments, especially with the changes that have happened. What would you say when it comes to that section?
Well, when it comes to investments
Mhm.
is people think about money. You think about,
Mhm.
how can I take my money that I have and use it to make more money? That's the first
Yeah.
mindset that people talk about. Well, what are you investing in? Are you buying stocks? Are you buying bonds? Are you buying real estate or things like that? But the foundation of investment is
Mhm.
your knowledge. So before you can go out and do the investing thing,
Mhm.
uh, educate yourself. Spend time investing money in your education, in your financial literacy, to
Yeah.
elevate that, so that when you
Mhm.
do go out, then you are more confident
Mhm.
about what you want to do, how you want to
Mhm.
do it,
Mhm.
and when you want to do it. So start with
Mhm.
yourself, elevate your financial literacy around that investment, whatever it may be. And
Mhm.
then you begin to go out and do the investment, because investments are important. You will need investments in the culture that we live in. It's
Mhm.
not always, you can't always just put your money in the bank and think that it's going to be okay. But you have to go out and find some investment vehicles that fits your personality. When it comes to
Mhm.
investment, also you want to be able to sleep at night. You want to invest your money in something, and so that you feel like, okay, I'm confident, I'm not worried about this money. I can
Mm-hmm.
go to bed at night and everything's going to be okay, versus you're worried about, well, each day something bad's going to happen. I'm going to lose all my money. I'm going to be broke or poor or whatever. So you don't want to live like
Mm-hmm.
that in terms of investing. So understand your investment nature. Typically people fall in three categories. You're either an aggressive investor, a moderate, or a conservative. So just find
Mm-hmm.
out, for you, who you are, and invest according to that personality, and you will be fine.
Absolutely. I like the fact that you said people need to first invest in knowledge before they can actually invest in the investment tools. And I also like the aspect that you've mentioned. We need to, first of all, analyze the type of investor one is, so that you just don't invest your money and you don't sleep at night because you're worried. And this leads me to something that has been trending, especially in 2021, and this is the rise of digital currency, or let's say Bitcoin. As you know, it has been a topic of discussion for the larger part of 2021. What would you say when it comes to that in relation to us winning with money this year?
Well, in terms of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and the
Mhm.
digital market like that, that platform is still new, it's still early. There's a lot to
Mhm.
be learned about that. People tend
Mhm.
to be excited. One of the things about investing, uh, uh,
Mhm.
uh, the investor sentiment plays a big role into how the market moves. With this new digital currency, there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of jubilation about it, and it's about uh, making a lot of money real fast. You know,
Mhm.
and the thing about it is that, once again, it goes back to your knowledge. Understand what you're investing in. There's a lot of guys, a lot of professionals out there who written
Mhm.
books about investing, and they say, uh, uh, invest in what you know and understand and what you like. That's
Yeah.
where you put your money. So
Mhm.
if you like digital investing and currency and things like that, then just know that, just be knowledgeable about it, and you can do that. But if you don't
Mhm.
know that much about it, and you're uncertain about it, and you want to see how it's going to develop over the decades, then
Mhm.
you might want to wait and uh,
Yeah.
and 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 do it later on when you feel like it's something that you can
Mhm.
understand and want to invest in. But it just goes back to what I said earlier. It goes back to the
Mhm.
person. Some people like the excitement. They like that thrill of being out there on the cutting edge of investing. And some people,
Yeah.
are opposite of that. They want to be more reserved and laid back and just wait to see how things going to happen. But
Mhm.
I don't know if it's going to, what it's going to do in terms of
Mhm.
building wealth for people, or
Mhm.
how long it's going to last, or anything like that. But it is out there right now for those that want to learn more about it and get involved in it.
Absolutely. To our audience, thank you so much for tuning in. We are talking about winning with money in 2022, as well as setting achievable financial goals. And our guest Bobby is the CEO of Clark on Money, all the way from United States of America. Feel free to drop your questions if you have any question regarding setting financial goals, budgeting, saving, investing, you name it. It's the time to share in the comment section. Now back to you, Bobby. One of the things that has cropped up in the recent past is debt management. We've seen, due to the pandemic, a lot of people have taken debt either for good or bad. Now what would you advise in this year that we need to consider when it comes to matters to do with debt?
Well, debt is something that has been around for a very long time. The Bible
Mhm,
speaks about debt, so debt is not something that's new. It may be
mhm,
packaged a different way, but in terms
mhm,
of this unique situation that we are experiencing
mhm,
around the world with the pandemic, this is
mhm,
something that we have never, at least in my lifetime in the U.S., that we have ever faced before. With
mhm,
the country, the economy shutting down, people are not being able to go to work, people
mhm,
are not going to school and getting sick, and unfortunately, losing their lives or having long-term residual illnesses, from the pandemic. It has just wrecked our economy and our life, not only our financial life, but our personal life, because a lot of us have lost loved ones, or we have lost friends because of it. And it's just a devastating effect. It really is. And a lot of
mhm.
people are devastated financially. And the thing about it is, it's not, you find yourself in situations where it's not your fault. It just
Yeah.
it just happened. You can't blame anyone about it. You just something that you find yourself in. And when this happened to you, it's something that you just got to deal with and try to dig your way out of it. Now, as a result of that, debt, job loss, loss of finances are there. And
Mhm,
we talk and we teach that having a savings plan strategy or having an emergency strategy is the
mhm,
key to reducing your debt. And that's still
mhm,
true during the pandemic and
mhm,
after the pandemic. So
mhm,
what I would suggest, that if it's possible, if you have the income coming in, if you're
mhm,
still working,
mhm,
always focus on a saving strategy and an emergency uh,
mhm,
plan strategy. I talked about not being your fault. Find yourself in a situation where it's not your fault. Well, this year, a couple of weeks
mhm,
ago, my wife
mhm,
went out to get some groceries, and it was raining, and the roads were slick and wet, and she was sitting at a traffic light, and the car
mhm,
behind her applied their brakes too late, and it
mhm.
she got rear-ended. Well,
Yeah.
you know, luckily, she didn't get hurt or the other driver got hurt. It just was some damage to both cars. Well, there's,
Mhm,
that wasn't her fault. It just happened. And
mhm,
so, having an emergency fund or having some savings to take care of the repairs is
mhm,
a relief. If we didn't
mhm,
have that savings, we would have to maybe go in debt and borrow
mhm,
money to get the car repaired and take care of whatever we need to do to get our car back, in good condition again. So it was stressful because of the fact that you think about she could have got hurt or somebody could have got hurt, real bad.
mhm,
But also it was comforting to know that we had planned for those
mhm,
things that may happen beyond your control, and we have the
mhm,
funds to take care of that. So that's one of the ways that you can manage your debt, is by planning in advance for those
mhm.
times that may not be your fault or it could be your fault.
Amazing. I really like the fact that you have highlighted it's good to plan in advance for things that may not be your fault or may be your fault, or they might just be out of your control and they
Yeah.
are there. And that is where one of the things I would also like echo again is an setting a goal of having an emergency fund this year is more important than ever, because we've seen there's a possibility of things happening that are beyond your control, but they are affecting you. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Let
sorry.
me add this about the mercy fund. A lot of times,
Mhm, mhm,
people look at their finances and say, I can't save any money, or
mhm,
I can't save enough money. Well, when you
mhm,
start saving, save what you can. Save
Mm-hmm.
whatever you can. If it's a small amount, just repeat that process. Because if you do, it will eventually build up. And it's far
Mm-hmm.
better to have something saved than to have nothing saved. If you have something saved, then you don't have to borrow as much because you have some of the cost already. But when you don't have anything saved and you're telling yourself, I can't save money, or I can't do this, then you're really exposing yourself to a lot more risk than you really deserve to be exposed to. So always save, if it's just a minimum amount on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
That's better than nothing. And over time, your savings will build up.
Very true, very true. And this actually addresses the question most people say, I'm earning low income, or the income I'm earning is, goes to all the bills I cannot save. I think if you can start with whatever small you can, then you continually do that. With time, you'll find that you'll even open up your mind to how you can add income to your income stream to be able to save. Now, due to the interest of time, this brings us to the end of our discussion today. And if anyone has a question, they might feel free to write in the chat box. Meanwhile, Bobby, you could tell us where people can get you. You can share your link. You told me you have a gift for our audience. Maybe you can share more about it.
Yes, I do have a gift, and that as each year starts out, we always have a new calendar for the new year. And what I
Mhm.
have for your listeners is a new money calendar. Now, this calendar is designed to keep you on track with your finances throughout the year. There's information in there. There's tips for each month, things that you can do to achieve your financial goals, like savings, reviewing where you are along your goal path, and much much more. So I want to offer this to your wonderful guests, to all your listeners, and I'm going to put the link in the chat area there, and they can just go to this my web page and get a copy of this, and they are welcome to have it. They have any questions? There it is. There, can I think you can see it there. Can you see that, Sheila?
Um,
Is it there in the chat?
yeah, I have seen it in the chat. Um,
Can you
I've
guess
just
see it? Uh-oh.
Sorry, I got disconnected. Yeah, I've just posted it as a comment,
Okay.
in the comment section, and I believe everyone can access it. The link, yeah,
Okay.
click on
Great.
www.clickonmoney.com/money-calendar. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, they can enjoy that. And I'll just, if they have any questions, you can also contact me at clarkonmoney.com. I am on LinkedIn as well. And I would just enjoy talking with your guests offline or at any time. So matter of fact, let me put my LinkedIn. Uh oh, where did we go? Did I lose you, Sheila?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see. No, let
I
me
can't.
see.
Just a minute. Here we go. There we go. Now, sorry about that. I'm just gonna put this my LinkedIn contact there as well. You can connect with me. I'm posting,
Mhm.
commenting, sharing my thoughts on LinkedIn, and open for conversations there.
Absolutely. Let me just copy it back to come to the comments. Yeah. So yeah, I've just shared the link as well, your LinkedIn link, and Thank you so much, Bobby, for coming through. I really love the points that you have highlighted on winning with money. One of them is we need to find why we want to do what you want to do. The second thing is set things that you know you can achieve. Do not overset goals that you'll not be able to achieve. And the third thing is invest in your financial education before you can invest your resources in any investment tool. So take time, study about money, and of course study about investments, study about it before you can commit your money. And the other thing is stay away from debt as much as you can. In case you need to take a debt, it's important to know what you're going to do with it and have a plan on how you're going to repay it. And we cannot re-emphasize on the importance of having an emergency fund. So this is another start of the year where you can focus on building up your emergency fund. And as well, we just spoke about saving. There's no amount that is too little to save or too much to save. It's all about consistency and making it a habit. And finally, we have a gift for you all, for you from Bobby, and that is a money calendar. So if you're struggling with, having a method of, working around your money, I believe this money calendar is going to really help you win with money this year. So thank you once again, Bobby, and we are so honored to have you in the show. Unless you can say a parting shot to our audience.
Sure. Thanks again, Sheila, for having me. It's always a great pleasure to talk with you and to share our thoughts in a conversation. It's really, really fun, and I always look forward to sharing with you. Just one last parting thought is invest
Mhm.
your time and money in your own
Mhm.
financial literacy and happiness. What we focus
Yeah.
on is what
Mhm.
grows for us. So if you focus on our education, our literacy, our money, it will grow.
Mhm. Mhm. Absolutely. I love that. Invest your money and time in your financial literacy and happiness. Truly, happiness is something that we need to be intentional about it. Once again, thank you so much, Bobby, and to our audience, thank you so much. Ensure you have liked our Facebook page, you've followed us, and as well, ensure you have subscribed to our YouTube channel and shared this video to as many people as possible. Until then, we'll see you next Thursday and keep safe and Happy New Year. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Happy New Year.